Hi, this is Mark Wiltshire. Thank you for joining me for another episode of the Explore Finland radio show. Today I'm really pleased to be joined by Henna Rantasaari, who is a teacher here in Seinäjoki and also active in the local Green Party. So Henna, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for inviting me.
One of the reasons I've asked Henna to come and talk to me today is kind of connected to her work within the Green Party. We're going to talk about the Kirppis. So Henna, what is Kirppis? Have I said it right to start with?
Yeah, you did. Yeah, Kirppis, it comes from the word Kirpputorit, and it's flea market where you sell your old stuff. And
this is something that's quite well used here in Finland.
Yes, it is. Yes.
I think in the UK, I'm used to this idea that you give away your old clothes and they're sold by maybe sports teams or scout groups or schools to raise money for their team or their school or whatever. But over here, it works slightly differently.
Yeah, there are places, like you mentioned, also in here. It's normally for charity, some kind of, for example, SPR, the Red Cross organization has Kirppis like that, but also, or it's more common than people sell their own stuff at the Kirppis.
Yeah, I've got a theory about that. When we first moved here, we had very small children, and we had that had been born in the UK, and so when they had baby clothes, they were bought in the UK. And I think over there things were a lot cheaper than they are here.
Yeah.
And so I think here things, because they're not so cheap, they actually made better and they last longer. And so when a baby is finished with their clothes, they can still be used.
Yes.
Whereas I noticed that some of our baby stuff, when our kids had finished with it, it wasn't useful anymore.
It might be, yeah. And kids stuff, anything, toys, clothes, it's really popular and really good stuff in Kirppis. It sells good.
Yeah, and so this also, I guess, fits in with your green ethics that you live by.
Yeah. I've used a lot of Kirppis to buy stuff for my kids when they were young or still are. And it goes on there really well.
And you're able to it's kind of recycling the things once you finish using with them.
Yes,
as well.
And as you said, clothes, they are so good, they last, and that's the main reason you can buy them.
Are there? So we've touched on the fact that you do have these charity type shops, but the ones that you might sell at yourself, are there different types of Kirppis?
Yeah, there are these kind of Kirppis when you buy yourself a table or a place for a week or for more. You put the prices for your stuff and you take it to Kirppis and then they sell it for you.
Okay.
And you have to pay for something for the week. Or you rent the place. That's one. And then the other popular is that there are these events, Kirppis events. It lasts for 1 day. You go there and you sell your stuff. And then, of course, you get the money straight away.
So it's also, like a one-off or occasional event, a market or something like that.
And of course, usually then you also have to pay something for the place, but it's normally only for 1 day.
Okay. What about if you're a shopper? Where might you find these places? Obviously, we're in Seinäjoki today, so maybe focusing on this area. How many of these places are there around the town?
Well, three places now comes to my mind. Vanhankylän Ullakko, it's near City Market.
Yes, I know.
In Jouppi City Market. And then actually there's another there behind. I don't remember the name. But there are two places there. And then there's Soppis, which is really, really famous place and really popular. It's at the teollisuusalue.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll put some links to some of these particular places in the show notes, so we can direct people there if they're in this area, visiting this area or whatever, and they want to actually find where they are. We'll put some links in there. Yeah. Okay.
That's good. And then there's one Ykköspasaari, which is in Törnävä at the Sorsanpesä building.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Well, maybe later we can go out and have a look at some of these different places and see what they look like, how they differ to each other. I've seen images of one of them online, and it was a bit different to what I was expecting. So it'd be interesting to go out and actually have a look and be able to describe it so that people can understand a little bit about what we're talking about. So as a shopper, it's a traditional retail location. You just go there, look at what you want, and make a purchase.
Yeah, exactly. That's how it works.
Okay.
And I guess these places where you rent a place or the table for 1 week or 2 weeks, and at those places they sell a lot of like kid stuff and clothes, like everyday things you use. But in those charity things, there you can make find quite expensive stuff also for cheap, because it can be, for example, stuff from some old person who has died, and everything left over has been taken there.
It gets given to charity and sold on, and you may find some interesting pieces in there. Okay,
exactly.
That's not so hard to believe. So we've decided tomorrow to go to a particular Kirppis. It's one of the one-day events. Maybe you can explain a little bit about where it is and how this particular event works. Okay.
The Kirppis is in Rytmikorjaamo. It's a concert hall, a big place where there's a lot of space for these Kirppis tables. And it works so that we've booked a table there, and it costs 10 euros, one table. And I take my stuff there, I put them out, and I have the 4 hours there time to sell it.
So it's a bit like an indoor market.
Yeah. Kind of like.
And you're a market trader for a few hours. Okay.
Yes.
Have you got much to sell tomorrow?
Yes, I do have.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think I have them all with me. And then first I, of course, put the best ones there, where I can have the perfect best price off, and then maybe if it goes, then I can put some more.
Oh, you got tactics. Yeah. I didn't realise it was going to be tactical.
Yeah, because there aren't that many too much space. You have to think of what you want to sell first.
And we've also going to have a table at the same place alongside you.
Yes.
Okay.
It's next there.
Okay, which is nice. So, what is this particular event like? You've been and sold things there in the past.
Yeah.
How's it been?
Yeah, it was a few months ago. It was nice. The atmosphere there is nice, and the place is nice. It's really cozy.
Is it in the actual music venue part of the?
Yeah.
So it's quite a big space.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. And tomorrow, normally there's a coffee shop there also open, and tomorrow there's an extra this cafe called Valkoinen Puu. I don't know if it's from Kauhava or where is it?
Or Kauhajoki.
Might be.
I've heard of it, actually.
Yeah, and they make a pop-up cafe there tomorrow. So,
nice.
And I guess that's one thing that can bring more people there than last time. There were people there last time, but there could have been more also.
Yeah, okay. So hopefully it's going to be busy.
Yeah.
Hopefully you're going to get your tactics right and get people to your table early. We've also got mostly children's things to sell. So quite a lot of boys' clothes and also a lot of shoes that have accumulated over the last few years. And this is something that I'm hoping is going to be quite popular because of the weather over here. Winter gets really cold. And so the kids need lots of technical footwear and outer clothing and things like that. So I've got, as you can see here, about 6 pairs of winter boots in various sizes, all in pretty good condition. Just having a look at one or two of these, they normally sell at new for sort of 60 to 80 euros depending on the brand. What sort of price do you think we might be able to get for a pair of those sort of winter boots?
Well, if they're in good shape, as you said, a lot of your shoes are, I guess you can get 20 euros from them.
All right.
That's good price.
So 20 euros times 6 or whatever, that starts to mount up. It's well worth it on a €10, €10 table,
Yeah, and if you have skis like that, that's stuff that sells really good.
Okay.
Those are also expensive things and sometimes not so much used even than the shoes.
No, that's exactly true. The amount of things that you have, you look and skis, cross-country skis, a set with poles and things for the kids. It's like €100, and they use them for one winter, and they grow, and suddenly the skis are no good anymore. And you go back and you buy again.
Yeah.
So I can see the value. One year buying new, the next year buying second hand, and it makes life that little bit easier, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's
okay. True. Well, that sounds very positive. I'm looking forward to this. We're actually recording this the day before the Kirppis, so I think for now, if I say thanks to Henna, and maybe I'll see you there tomorrow.
Yeah, thank you. See you tomorrow.
After speaking to Henna, I decided to go and check out some of the local Kirppis before we attend our own event tomorrow at Rupnikorjaamo. Quite interesting to see the different types of buildings that these places are hosted in. One of them was like clearly an old loading bay for a industrial unit, and you could sort of see the ramp coming from outside into the building where these big trucks would have once been unloaded, and now it had been turned into this less of a second-hand shop. They were more like a second-hand supermarket. They're big places, big high ceilings, aisles and aisles of racks of second-hand clothes, and as Henna explained, each of these aisles was split up into sort of metre-long bays, which different people had decided what they wanted to sell in their own bay. Some of it hanging, some of it on shelves, and some of these places were clearly been there quite a long time, and others had cropped up in recent years. One of these had wooden racks and rails. Another one had white units that you might expect to find from a well-known Swedish flat-packed furniture store, but all offering very much the same kind of idea, and also a wide variety of products available in there. There were the usual type of things you might expect to find in a charity shop, such as clothes and shoes, lots and lots of winter boots and skates and things like that. Also toys and games and CDs, DVDs and vinyl records, along with homewares like glass and crockery and things like that. Also interesting to see power tools available for sale, and also furniture. Such one particular place had a whole dining table and chair sets that you could buy, as well as pianos. It even had what looked like a small church organ in there. And also the prices. This was second hand, but I guess it also reflects the cost of living in Finland, where life is more expensive than some places. And for example, the church organ that I mentioned before was priced over €3,000. Now, I didn't walk into the Kirppis expecting to need to spend that kind of money, and I think I had about 30 euros in my pocket, so I was a little bit short for that particular item. But I spent most of my time looking through the vinyl to see if I could find any old gems amongst the records that were being sold. And I did find some interesting things. For example, there were a couple of editions of the Beatles' Hard Day's Night on vinyl there, and I got quite excited. And then I saw the price, and it was 15 euros, and I thought, well, that's not a bargain price. That's not something to make me think, oh, I need to get that, especially as, I've got the record on MP3 anyway. And then I kept flicking through the same rack and found another copy of it, and that was 20 euros, and, I sort of thought, hold on, maybe this is valuable, and I went online and had a look, and neither of these editions seemed to be particularly valuable, so either people are chancing their arm, or they just want to get as much as they can. They're not too worried about selling the things quickly. I'm not sure, but I did find a couple of records. I bought a record of Finnish children's Christmas music because we're not far away from Christmas, and I thought I could play that on my turntable at home for the kids over the next few weeks. But I didn't buy too much. The other thing that I noticed that was quite surprising was there seemed to be a lot of handcraft items that have been made seemingly especially to be sold at the Kirppis. I wasn't anticipating that at a place I expected to see only second-hand items. So it just goes to show that, if you keep an open mind, you'll find almost anything that you might need at one of these places. So let's now go and see how Henna got on selling at the Kirppis we were talking about earlier.
So it's now the day after my previous conversation with Henna. We're now at Rupnikorjaamo, the venue for the Kirppis. We met here this morning at about 10 o'clock and spent some time setting up a couple of tables and a couple of rails of clothes and making everything look as good as we could. So, Henna, how did it go today? What were your impressions?
I think it went well. There was really a lot of people coming in today. In the beginning, the most.
Okay.
When it started 11 o'clock, it was crowded, you could say. Then, and I got good prices, and I got things sold. So I'm quite pleased.
Yeah, I was quite surprised and a little bit concerned with the amount of stuff that Lena, my wife, had managed to pull out of her wardrobes, and there were bags and bags of things. And it seems like a lot of the shoes that we talked about yesterday, not many of them sold. I was quite surprised, actually.
Yeah, I noticed that there weren't so many children's clothes or shoes here, and I guess the people who came in didn't buy for their kids, they bought for themselves, and that's why I think Lena's dresses were really good, and she sold them a lot.
So she's basically made a few euros for herself out of this today, even if the shoes didn't sell. So I'm not going to be able to go out tomorrow and buy my new trainers, am I?
Well, unfortunately not, but I think Lena will get something.
Yeah, I dare say. And this event today was kind of themed around design, that kind of idea, wasn't it? There were quite a few rails like yours with sort of some women's clothes, dresses and fashion and things like that.
Yeah, and it seems so that was the thing sold today.
So maybe we need to rethink where we might sell these shoes. Maybe one of the other type of kirppis where we can leave them during the week and people maybe go in over a longer period of time.
Yeah, of course. And one thing we didn't talk about it yesterday, but there are a lot of kirppis groups in Facebook at the moment,
okay.
Regional groups.
Yeah.
For example, in Seinäjoki area, and that's also one place where people sell a lot of kid stuff.
So what's the name of that place on Facebook?
I don't remember now the group. I guess it's myydään, ostetaan, lahjoitetaan, Seinäjoki area or something.
Okay, I'll have a look and find a link and put that on the show notes as well. Well, that just about wraps up today's show. So big thank you to you, Henna, for taking me along.
Thank you. There was no bother.
if you enjoy listening to this show, then please take a moment, go to iTunes or wherever you found the show and rate and review it. Also, subscribe to the show. All of these things will help me to reach out to a larger audience. Remember also on my website that I have the show notes, and you can subscribe there and receive the show notes by email each week. And also help me spread the word amongst your friends. If you think they might be interested to come and explore Finland with us, then use social media, your choice of social media, to pass the word around. Have a look on my website at the Connect page, and it will show you my various profiles. And if you've got any questions or any topics, then please, let me know. I'll be happy to hear from you. So, until next time, goodbye to Henna.
Goodbye.
And thanks to everyone for listening, and see you next time on the Explore Finland radio show.